Hello, it's me, and in honor of Viewer Request Week, I've got another handsome little puzzle here that I've kind of kept in the wayside a little bit, but Viewer was having a hard time with the Crystal Pyraminx. So I thought I'd go through this, and I think it was mostly the last part that there's a trouble with, but I might as well go through this because what's interesting about this is sort of a continuation of the last viewer question issue, which had to do with this dodecahedron, which is this standard Megaminx. And I showed how you can solve this much like a 3x3 with some variation of algorithms. So Crystal Pyraminx, why do they call this a Crystal Pyraminx? Well, this has interesting properties. Basically what this is this is a two-layer version of this. If this is three-layer version, this is a two-layer version, much like the Kilominx. So there's the Kilominx, which is a 2x2 version of a dodecahedron, and then the Megaminx, which is the three-layer version of that same puzzle. The difference is that although it looks like they're both three layers, you've got two corners and an edge over here, this is not the kind of edge that you're going to see with this kind of a puzzle. It's actually not an edge that you see with a 3x3 puzzle. Instead, this is a kind of an edge that you'd see with something like a Pyraminx. And it kind of has a nice little crystalline form here. But this reminds me a lot of the Rex cube in that this layer here kind of emerges out of the juxtaposition of movement of two different layers. So the solve of this is basically solving it like a Kilominx, which is a two-layer version of a dodecahedron, using these as your edges, your corners rather, and then solving the edges like a Pyraminx, and that's when things might get a little testy, especially towards the end. This is a really well put together puzzle. Movement is very nice. It can seem to come undone sometimes, but otherwise very happy with it. Kind of has a crisp motion to it. So I'm going to go ahead and scramble this, and actually there's only very few algorithms aside from normal 2x2 algorithms and Pyraminx algorithms that you really have to deal with. So I'll keep scrambling, and abracadabra. Okay, one of the things that I like about this puzzle is I always like a puzzle that looks, when it's scrambled, to be really just botched up in terms of the colors. I mean, there's colors everywhere. It looks very impressive in a scrambled state and very difficult to put in an actual solved state. So we'll navigate through this one. Now, again, one of the main differences between a two-layer puzzle, which is really what this is, and a three-layer puzzle is this has a center and this does not. No edges to speak of and no centers. I'm going to exclude these edges right now. So really, I can define the colors to be anywhere. I just have to use the corners to dictate where they're going to go. So to solve this, just like a Kilominx, is I'm going to pick any color. Let's say green. I generally start off with green, and I'm going to find the other green edges, corners rather, and put them in accordingly. Now remember, the placement of corners generally takes the form of something like R-I-D-I-R-D, something like that. And we're going to keep doing that over and over again. So here's green and baby blue, which is the same thing over here. So let's just put these fellows next to each other. So I'm going to just intuitively place these things here. This needs to come up here, R-I-D-I-R-D, and there it is. So this first part, and my assumption is that the viewer's problem was not in this first part, but just for the sake of completeness, we'll just kind of whittle our way through this and see if maybe we can make certain discoveries along the way. I'm just going to put this in no apparent order. I don't even know if it belongs there, but it's green, so at least I can account for it. Here's a green and red. So I'm going to put this right over here, this green and red, so it can coincide with this. Turn, turn, turn. So, and it just so happens that I put that in the right place because these two line up. And I'm organizing this pretty much the same way as I did with the Megaminx. I'm solving it just like a 2x2. So this green has to match up with this white over here. So I'm just going to do a combination of those moves. So not too difficult. And here's our first Kilominx side over here. Turn it upside down, and then we start to fill in our various middle layers. Looking for a white and purple, perhaps right over here. So white and purple over here, and this is going to wind into here, but it's not quite where it needs to be. So let's move this out. Turn, 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 and turn. Okay, so we're good over here. And we're just going to keep working our way around. So white and red. Find the other white and red that we can place up here. And that is right over here. Right over here. Now we have to concentrate because you've got these pieces here that might serve to confuse. Now when I'm putting this in, I'm going to be doing the RD. Now notice I'm going to try to minimize motions as much as possible because as I'm adding layers, I'm going to start messing things up with that potentially. So actually it's going to be here, 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 and I'm going to keep doing that until it finds its way in. I've got a little bit more variability I can do here. So effortlessly we're getting this in here. We need blue and purple. Pretty easy to see over here. So this is much like getting sides. It's really no problem. So purple and white right over here. Oh. So this needs to turn around. Now notice, as I'm going to do the RID, I am going to move this out, which is why it's important at this point, since this is, I think, close to the last one, I don't want to go RI2D. It's going to mess this up. So RIDI, RD. And as long as I keep holding to the program like that, I'm going to be okay. So we basically have the corners of our Kilominx in. Now we put these guys in. No edges to worry about. So we just have one purple left. So this is kind of a fun and quick solve. Bear in mind, I can move this top portion here with complete impunity. So here's the purple one. Move it up, move this out, and get used to moving that back. Okay, so now same thing. Variations of RIDI, RD. This has to come into here. So turn, 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 turn. I'm just bringing it up. This is all done. White, right over here. So I'm just moving it from the top to get it in. Red, it's up here somewhere, right here. So I'm moving the top. I'm defining this is the top and this is the bottom. So here I'm just going to be doing my turning in. Okay, you'll get the hang of it if you're not quite sure what I'm doing. This is okay here, the blue, this is a blue here. So once again, I'm going to be moving it. I can move this one pretty securely and this one here as well. So turn, 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 turn. Okay, blue, purple, white, red, that's all good. Now we have the last layer here. Now we talked about how we correlate this with the 2x2 or the 3x3 algorithms, and it's really the same thing. I'm going to apply the same thing. No need to make it more complicated than what it is. But because I don't have any centers, I can orient this any way that I want. So what color is actually supposed to be here? It's going to be the light green, and this one is where it needs to be. So let's just kind of orient this. As you can see, with the gray here, pink here, green here. Now remember, the way that I variated this algorithm is that there's a corner permuting algorithm that we use for the last layer here. Just to demonstrate it with this over here, this is as you can see, a 2x2. And what this is going to do is, as you recall, this will be held constant and these guys will permute around. And that's going to be the U, R, U, I, Li, U, Ri, Ui, L. This stayed the same, these guys all turned around. So this went to here, this one went to here, and this went to here. So this is done the same way, but remember, this is 5 sides instead of 4 sides. So to translate this algorithm into here, I have to fuse 2 sides together. And in this case, it's going to be this and this, which means these 2 sides here, these 2 corners, are going to be treated as the same. And I also have to variate the algorithm too. Now it just so happens that this one belongs here. This is the brown, gray, and green. And this one actually belongs here because this is the brown side, this is the gray side, this is the green side. So this is actually where it needs to be. If it wasn't where it needed to be, I have to put it in there, which means if this were, say, over here, in a situation like this, where what was here I just put over here, I have to find a way to get this into here. As you can see, this is where it's supposed to be, but this one doesn't belong here. This actually, because of this color, belongs over here. So this has to come over to here. To make that happen, if I do the algorithm that I'm going to use, these two stay the same. So what I want to do is move it like this, because if I do that, these two will stay the same, which will allow this one to be moved. And it's actually this one that has to move into this one has to move into here. So if I turn it like this, this is free to move, and this is free to move into here. This will not change. So basically, you're trying to get two next to each other. Now, if you happen to notice another one next to each other, then that's fine too. For instance, this one is in where it's supposed to be. Is this one where it's supposed to be? Nope. Is this one? Nope. So I'm going to stick with the program. And the algorithm here, which is different, is going to be, instead of using a U, we're going to use a 2U. Now here's something that's unique. Usually when I do 2U, you don't have to specify 2U and 2UI, because in this, 2U is 2U. Bang, bang. Doesn't matter which direction you go, you'll wind up at the same place. But here I do have to specify 2U or 2UI, because they don't end up in the same place. And that's because it's not four sides. So with this, it's going to be 2U, R, 2UI, LI, 2U, RI, 2UI, L. Where this is R and this is L. So I actually had to specify that. So you see this didn't change. Now is the right one here? And nope, it's over here. One more turn of that algorithm will rotate this into here. So 2U R, 2U I LI, 2U RI, 2U I LI. So what we can see here now is that now this is where it needs to be. Well, it never changed, and this is where it needs to be. So I can move this back. This is in, and this kind of brought us back to where I originally showed you. So that's how you can move two together. So now that I have these two in place, I'll go ahead and do the algorithm until all of these guys are where they need to be. 2U R, 2U I LI, 2U RI, 2UI L. If I say it wrong, I'll post it because it's hard to walk and chew gum at the same time. Anyway, so these are fine. I got to do it again until I see the pink over here. 2U R, 2UI LI, 2U RI, 2UI L. And there it is. So we actually have all these corners where they're supposed to be. So now the next part is, what do we do when we want to orient corners? RI, RD. Or some variation of that. So this is rotated up, this is rotated up. I'm going to hold it here and I'm going to keep doing it until this is rotated up. Looks like there's kind of a glare here, but anyway, until the green is up here. RI, DI, RD, RI, DI, RD. That's fine. Move this in place and start doing the same thing here. And by the end of this, and then we move it twice to here, without inventing new algorithms, just variations on what we know, we will have finished our Kilominx solve. Okay, so this is the Kilominx version of it. All of these corners are in. So now we have to deal with the corners, the well, I don't know what you call these, but I guess the edges, the Pyraminx edges. Now, with things like this, I do this the way I do cubes, the way I did the Rex cube, the way I do a Pyraminx, which is a, I guess for lack of a better word, a down, down, up, up algorithm, which usually means that the right moves, then the left moves, then the right undoes its move, and the left undoes its move. And when I do that, you're going to be exchanging these pair over here. That's the most basic exchange. So watch what happens to the blue and purple, the purple and green, and the white and yellow. So you can go down, down, up, up, and these guys all exchanged. Purple and blue, down, down, up, up is now here. So these guys are all rotating around. So that's really it. That's really all that you need to know with this, that down, down, up, up, or you can go up, up, down, down. Suffice it to say that you're cycling these three here. So let's say I wanted to put these in. Now you don't have to just do it with one turn. You can go down, 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 up, 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 up. Let me show what I mean by that. So here's the green and red. This needs to find its way over here. So what I'm going to do is see if this is within an orbit that can come here, but by orbit I mean it can only go across here. Go, you know, as you're turning the side here to here to here. So let's move it out of here. So I'm going to move this up to here by going up, up, down, down. So now this is here ready to come over into this area. The only problem is that it's going to come in upside down if I turn it in here. The green has to be here. So there's a couple things that I can do to try to turn this upside down. The other thing to bear in mind when doing this is we get into the concept of deconstruction and reconstruction. It's a very simple commutator that I just showed. If I turn the puzzle in any direction, do the commutator, I won't affect anything else, so I can just turn it back. So that way I can set things up. So for instance, if I turn this like this over here, then I can move this all the way down to here. So just to let you know how that can work, I'll turn this over here too. I just have to remember exactly what I did. And this will come all the way down here, down, 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 up, up, up. Now reconstruct it, this is turned back, and I turn this back as well. Now that was just a complicated version of what you can achieve, what you can do by that algorithm. Now, I'm going to make it more simple, but that was an extreme example. So here's green and blue, green and light blue. Find where it needs to be, which is here. Move this into position and do down, down, up, up. You see it's in, so we move it back. And we'll keep getting the greens in just by demonstration, green and white. So as you can see, it's a fairly simple puzzle. You can see this orbit will take it all the way to where it needs to be, take it home. As a matter of fact, it'll put it right to the white and green area. So it's going to be a left, down, down, a right, one down, left, up, up, right, up. And it'll take you where you want. So you got fairly complete control over this, as long as you remember what you deconstructed and reconstructed. This green is going to have to make its way all the way down here, but it's not really within the orbit. So I'm just going to move it down by one, down, down, up, up. So now it can make its way through. It's purple here, so bang, turn the purple in, down, down, up, 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 and turn it back. Once more. Now this is the easy, gentle portion of it because I'm not really running into anything else. Here's the green here, comes into here, move it like so, down, down, up, up, and we're good. Once again, I don't think this was the major question that the viewer had, but we're getting there. So now we have close to our first layer here. So what I'm going to do is keep going by my layer by layer method. So purple and white. Let's find it here somewhere. Right over here, purple and white. So I'm going to see if I can make the long journey here, coming down to here. So this is purple, and it will find its way to here. So let's just go 1, 2 to line it up with the white. 1, 2, and 1, 1, 2, and up. So put it in, and be sure to move it back. So we're good. White and red, all the way over here. So how are we doing? Well, it's down in this orbit here, so I simply move it up here, which will coincide with this orbit. Left 1, 2, right 1, left 1, 2, up, and right 1. And I can move this back. So great fun. This is okay here. Now red and cream colored. Right over here. So what do I do when it's upside down like this? I can't just move it in like that. And I've got a variety of things I can do. One thing is I could just double turn it here and bring it across like that, right? So 1, 2, turn, 1, 2, turn. Now, after a while, that's going to be more and more difficult to do because I'll start destroying things as I do that. So cream colored and light blue. Find it. Right over here. So how are we doing? Well, this is not in line with it, so I'm going to have to move it down to here so I can put it in line with it. So turn, 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 turn. Now we can move it in, but the 3 cycle is going to be is going to be an area that we don't want to destroy. So at this point, because I don't want to move this out, I'm just going to move this up here and borrow this one. So down, down, up, up without destroying it. And it doesn't matter as long as I move it back in when I'm done deconstructing it. Blue and purple. And that's going to be over here, so we can move it here and take the long journey down to here. The only problem is that we don't want to move this in over here. I don't want to make it too complicated, but what I can do is just move this down here, and then move this back. Now this can come into here, but let's move this up here so I can borrow this one. So it can be these that we're going to 3 cycle. Down, down, up, up, and then that's in. All right, so now we have this layer. So we just keep following suit, purple and red. Now don't worry, it's going to get complicated pretty soon. We have to move this in somewhere in this plane. So I can move this up here, but it'll be upside down if I do that. So why don't I just start moving it closer? Down, down, up, up. And now I move it over into here. So I'm just going to go bang, zoom, zoom, pow, pow, plop. I'm surprised this thing hasn't fallen apart on me much more often considering the abuse that I put it through. I'm just going to fill in all the rest of these corners here. So how about the blue and edges here rather? Blue and brown. Now right over here. So this needs to get into here. And the way that I'm going to do that is let's move it out of here first. So in this case, I'm going to cycle these 3 here, go up, up, down, down. This is over here. Turn this over. Down, down, up, up, and turn it back. Alright, so now the other blue, which is this guy here. Alright, this could cycle into here, but it's going to be upside down. So let me do this. Up, up, down, down. This will be upside down, so what I'm going to do is just manually turn it and bring it back down to here again. Down, down, up, up, and then move it in. Down, down, up, up. And now I have to remember to turn back what I turned out so I don't destroy my Kilominx. So this is in. Let's find the purple and orange. Looks to be right over here. So the purple has to be placed to here. So I'm just going to move this down to here. Make sure I'm not... Okay, I got to be careful because I don't want to blast this one out. So let's just move this down. Turn, 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 turn. So I've got this purple and yellow, gold, I guess, which is going to come down to here. We'll go 1, 2, and this will cleanly move down to here. Turn, 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 and turn this back. Most of these dodecahedrons are just endurance events, that's all. So white and gold way over here. So let's just move it in line here. Okay, white down. So this has to make its way all the way down to here. So I'm just going to move this like so I can get a 3 cycle between these guys. A little 3 away here. Down, down, up, up, and then I move this back. And now I do this one, white and blue, this one over here. This one's upside down, so what I can do is move this up. Well, yeah, we're going to try to coordinate it with these guys here. So down, down, up, up. That was just to get this blue here. As long as you find 3 to cycle, you'll be okay. And now I'm just going to double turn this here so that this blue and white can come down to here. Down, down, up, up. In your zeal, should you mess something up, that's okay. It'll be easy to put back in. Now this red and blue, right over here. So this has to make its way over here. Let's knock this out. Up, up, down, down. Okay, just turn this like so that this red and blue can coincide with this over here. Cycle these 3, down, down, up, up, and turn. Okay, getting my perspective, red and pink, right over here. So basically this can cycle into here, but it's going to be upside down. If I were to go down, down, up, up, As you can see, the red is upside down here. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to coordinate this another way. And because I have room to do this, I can maybe turn this twice so it's in line and bring this all the way down here. The only problem is that then I'm going to have to cycle it with this. I don't want to do that because I seem to think this is where it needs to be. So here's what I'm going to do. It doesn't matter where on the puzzle I do the cycling. I don't want to cycle this down to here. So this will move down here, and then this will come down to here. So it's going to be 1, 2 right, 1, 2 left, 1, 2 right, up, 1, 2 left, up. And then once I do that, I can safely bring things back, safely find my way back home. Okay, so far so good. This color over here, pink and cream right over here. This will end up upside down if I'm not careful, so let's just move it up here for now. Turn, 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 and turn. Move this up here, and then just let's cycle it with these just to move it out of the way. Turn, 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 and then we'll turn this back. Okay, so where are we at? We're right over here. And this needs to find its way to here. So we're going to turn it like so. And this will make a journey all the way down here to be traded with this one here. So we're going to 3 cycle this, this, and this. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. And now just find a way home. Okay, the last of this side of this layer, cream and silver, right over here. Well, I'm going to move this up to here and start moving it down. Yeah. Turn, 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 and quickly move this back before I lose myself. And this will come down here to be cycled with this. So these over here. Turn, turn. So this stage is still fairly intuitive, fairly straightforward. This is all in. Now we're getting to the basically last layer. We have everything in but the last layer. What we're going to have to do with this is there's no real specific technique that I have except a general strategy. Try to get 3 in conjunction with each other, but let's try to put this layer in first, everything down here. So it doesn't belong up here first, any non-greens. So this belongs over here. Can I comfortably put this over there? Well, there's a couple ways to do it. I could flip this down here and cycle it like this. So that'll work. Turn, 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 turn. So like I say, I'm just being an opportunist right now and turn this up. So that worked okay. Let's see if I can get lucky again here. How about a blue and pink? Where's that one? That one's over here. So this can make a long journey over here, right? Since it's in that layer. But unfortunately, I'd have to move it in from here, and I don't want to touch this. So instead of moving it here, the advantage of having long journeys, maybe I can move something else in here. Or what if I just double turn it like this? That'll work, because now I can cycle these 3. And this I don't think was playing much of a role, so 1, 2. Again, just being an opportunist. Turn, 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 and cycle it back. Okay, I'm still trying to fill this layer in. How about pink and silver? Where is that? It's right over here. So with pink and silver, if I move it down here, it's going to be upside down. If I move it here, it'll make the long journey to here. Or actually, I can make an even shorter journey over here. But I need something else to turn it against. So I'll come over to here, but even if this comes over here, it's got to cycle with this one or this one, but I don't want to move those out. So how am I going to do that? Well, as long as something is within that plane, let's see if I can move something to that area. I have to move something into here. So I can turn this and put that into here. The reason why I'm doing that is that this is going to move into here, and then this is going to move up. So this will be my right, and this will be my, this will be my left, and this will be my right. I just have to remember that I move this down to put this into this position. So that's what I mean about deconstruction and reconstruction. So let's look how we deconstructed it and how we reconstructed it. We started with this. This has to come over here. I turn this over here. It's part of my deconstruction, so this can slide into here. Then I take this and move it here so that this can be part of the 3-cycle exchange. Here, here, here. The whole key is orbits. So 1, 2, bring this up. 1, 2, bring this down. Remembering exactly what we did, let's reconstruct it back. This comes here, this comes here. The end result is we got that in. So we're down to the last few. So maybe I'll abandon that, maybe do the brown and gold. Let's just see which one is easier. I'm just going to try to do the easiest one. There's this over here, so I could move it like that, and that can cycle easily here. This can come here, but what can I cycle it against? Well, how about this one if I move it here? So I can go down, up, up, down, and now put things where they need to be. See, for me, the reason why I'm doing it in this maybe more convoluted way is it's just more fun to figure it out. I don't have to memorize anything. All right, so put that in here. Now I've got one more over here, which is the brown and silver. And I might have batted that out. So now I just made it easy, I think. Brown and silver, turn it like this, and now I can 3-cycle. But 3-cycle what? Put this over here. I can put this in, yeah, so 3-cycle these. So down, down, up, up, and now I have to reconstruct it back. So now inevitably you have it down to the last 3. Well, let's see what happens if I take this and I move it down here, bringing these two next to each other, and then I put this one over here. So that puts it in a 3-cycle position. I just have to remember what I did and in the order that I did it. So this comes down here, and this comes down here. The problem that we're going to potentially run into is actually this will come here and this will cycle just fine. So why don't we try that? Up, up, down, down. And now let's turn back in exactly the order that we did it last time. And here. Okay, now here is an inevitable conclusion that you're going to reach. These two here, and they're upside down. So what do we do about this? Well, this is the unique strategy that we're going to have to work out with this. We can't cycle 2 because the fact of the matter is this has the same parity restrictions as any 3-layer puzzle. I cannot swap one set. I cannot do one swap. It's against the parity. So I need to involve a third one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this incrementally where not only do I have to put them in, I actually have to flip these upside down. So here's what I'm going to do. Take it to where you have this kind of a 3-cycle. These two on one side and this two and this one on the other side. And then just with the right side, go right up, up, down, down. All right, what that did is that moved things around. This moved to here, and this poor innocent bystander moved over to here. Now the goal that I'm going to have is I'm going to actually want to involve this in another 3-cycle, which will turn it upside down. So I'm just going to rotate this clockwise to here. And what's going to happen with this is the same thing. This, which was over here, actually is about to come over here, but in an upside down position. So now these three, these three here are going to cycle, kind of making an innocent bystander of this, but at least this will be upside down. So right, up, up, down, down. Okay, now take a look at what I did. I just turned this upside down, so now I'm going to turn it over here and move this into here. So now I'm going, instead of starting with the right, I'm starting with the left. And put this in. Left, up, up, down, down. Okay, now that I've done that, this is fine. I've got these three to deal with, but look what happened. I'm going to turn this back over here, and now everything is where they need to be. This can come up here, and this is right side up. This will flip down over here, and this will scoot on down here. So once again, with the right side, right, up, down, down, and you did it. Pyraminx crystal is solved. The key with this one is just remember the up, up, down, down. Remember your orbits and how you can do, move it 2 down and 1 up. Doesn't really matter. You've got complete freedom to do that. But I hope that helps what the viewer was wondering about, how to put these in. And he had a question on what the heck I meant by that up, up, down, down thing. That's what I meant. So anyway, hope that helps. Thanks for watching.